Hi, today I'm going to show you a mobile app which has been developed as a demonstration for showcasing how or an offline first app operate. So let me first run the app and show you how it looks. So let me run the app. So first, when we run the app, we can see this single screen app, which says that which has not upload or synced anything right now. So the status said loading, and we haven't synced anything because we don't have any files to sync. And then when we click, you can see here we have the online status. So when we save and upload, it should upload and get synced. So let's see what happens. So we are uploading and suddenly it got a successful results and success of the sync status. And if we go offline, let's remove the connection we have. Now we are offline, and you can see that the app instantly recognizes that it is in the offline status, and the previous sync message is still there. So let's try to upload something, and this time, since the internet isn't available, the button says we can only save offline. So let's click something. So whatever we are sending is only saved locally, and we could not sync because we do not have internet connection. So let's go back and turn on the internet again. Let's go back to the app, and the app instantly recognized that now we are online, and it shows us the sync status. But the previous one we were setting is now synced back to the server. Okay, so let's look at our files and see how this works. So first of all, we have this main screen. So in the main screen, we have this appearance. So let me make it more. So now we can see stuff. So here, first of all, we are looking at these states. So we are getting three states. One is the UI state, and the second one is the sync state, and the third one is online state. So these are collected from the view model. So inside our appearances, so here in the interface, this icon is what this icon represents. So whenever is online states is true, we are showing this cloud. Otherwise, we are showing the cloud off sign. That means the one we saw when we were recording before. We saw that whenever we are offline, we had the cloud with slash on that one. Okay. And then also we have the text, which is saying if we are online, it's saying we are online. Otherwise, it says sync status offline. So at the moment, it says online. Okay. And then we have another column, which is this line, which is showing the status and also the sync status. So the status, if the value contains loading, so the color, so we are just changing the container color here. Okay, so we have this card, and the container color is set to red. Okay, so by default this is red. It is changed only if it is success, right? If the state, so here we are looking at the state. So let's see what that state is. The state is UI state. Okay, so use UI state, which if the UI state is, let's go back to that card. If the UI state is loading, we are showing the color to be yellow. Okay, if the UI state is success, okay, the sync state is success, okay, we are showing the color green, and all the other cases we are showing it as to be red. So that means if it is not successful or if it is not loading, we are showing a red colored card. Okay, so that's the color, and the text also, we are showing the status. Here the status, so we can say saved locally or uploaded. Here we suddenly got, yeah, so whenever there's disturbances, it's quickly recognized if it is online or not. Okay, right. So then we have the text. This text which is saying what the state is, what the sync state is. Okay, so the state is saved locally or uploaded. So let's try one. So success and the sync success. Likewise, we are grabbing those states and displaying in the card. Okay, so this is, then we have this button. So in this button also, if it is online, then we are showcasing, we are if it is, when the button is clicked, if it is online, we are uploading the item called a test item with no description. And if it is not online, we are going to save item. Okay, so those operations are done in the ViewModel. Okay, and here again the icon is also sensitive to the online status. If it is online, we are showing a cloud here, and if it is not, we are showing that cloud with a slash. Right, so this is how so here we have a statement saying data will be uploaded and synced while online. So if it is online, and if it is offline, we are saying data will be saved locally and synced when back online. Right, so we have a text message also giving that information. Right, so this is how the appearance of the app. And let's go and look at what are the mechanisms of this one. So you could see we're talking about a view model. So let's see what that is. So here we have a main view model. So view model is something that handles all the data of this application, right? So it looks at the states. So here we have a view model, right? And this view model, we have a state. So this is this UI state, the one we were looking at. And then we have online state, which was we are looking at in the main screen also. And then we have sync states. Okay, so these states we are looking at. So first of all, we have USS in two ways. One is as a mutable state flow, and the other one is state flow. Okay, so what we are doing is we are assigning this mutable state flow, which we are changing if something is changed. Okay, and we are assigning that into this UI states. Okay, which is accessed in our main file. So let me show you. So here is the same variable we are accessing in the main screen, right? And again, we have this connectivity observer, which we are observing what the connection is, and see where so here we are using that to set our states, whether it's online or offline, right? So we are setting this variable here, okay, and then we are assigning that to this one, which is accessed outside, this one. So why do we have two kinds? The reason being that this variable here, this online states variable, is the one we are outputting. So if somebody wants to see what's happening into this variable, we have assigned the one that has actually affected to that one, so that we can see that one. And in this one is where we are getting those informations, like getter setter, right? So we are getting this variable here, this mutable state, and we are assigning that to a state flow, which can be accessed from outside of this view model, right? So here we saw two ways. One is save item if it is offline, and one is upload item if it is online. So this is how these view model are doing these things in background threads. Okay, so here view model scope launch. In there we are inserting the item which is saving, and we are saying that our state is saved locally. Okay, so UI state is saved locally, and then we are enqueue that for the synchronization, right? We are queuing that to synchronize. So let's look at the repository. So in the repository we have queuing for synchronization, and if you want to click and immediately synchronize, we can synchronize that way. That means whenever something comes online and we want to send it faster, we can click on the button again and perform immediate synchronization. Or so let's see how where we use that one. So here you can see in the view model and in the sync worker we are calling this immediate synchronization. So we'll see what happens. So here if we have another button called sync now in the view model, which we don't have, we are not accessing that one. If we have that one, we can perform immediate synchronization, right, which we are not accessing at the moment. And also in the worker class, synchronization work class, we have a method called do work. So here what they first do is try to perform immediate synchronization, right? So we get the repository, and if something is not there, we are trying to synchronize that immediately, right? This is the main use of that method. So let's go back to that method again. So here what we are doing is we are calling our API to upload items. Okay, so let's look at the API. So API is from the base API. So the base API is the interface which calls this upload item and post item. Okay, so upload items means like sending lots of data. Post item is just sending one data. So if, for example, if you're clicking this button to send, so it should call this post item, but when you are grabbing stuff which is offline, it should grab those stuff to send. Okay, right. So here when we are calling one item to upload, for example, when we are clicking on this button, we are calling this upload to API, which is in the upload item, right? Okay, so we have this item which is just created here. We just pass the title and the string what we want to upload, and then we are going to save that item first, and then we are going to launch it, right? So here we have the sync state false at the beginning, right? So if it is successful, what we are doing is we are going to set the state to the success, and if it fails, we are going to set the states to false. Okay, so where do we change this sync states to true? So for that, we need to see the upload item API. Okay, so in the upload item API, what we are doing is, so we are uploading using this API service. Okay, so the API service is the one which gives us the where to upload. So this is the URL. Okay, base URL, so we are using, and let's have a look at this one. The same thing. So we have base URL there. So we are going to suppress the static field leak annotation, which says don't call something static. So this is kind of static. So let's fix this one here. Do not place Android context class in static field. Okay, so this is the service locator. So here we are creating, here we are providing the repository, and here we are getting the API service, and here we provide the main view model. So let's see where the view model is called. So here we have the view model provider, which is sending for the main screen. So what we do is we are providing the view model with the right context, and we are setting that here. Okay, so in the view model, we are passing the repository and as well as the application and the repository. So we are using the service locator to provide the main view model. And here, this one, we are providing the API service, which is a retrofit service with this URL. And then we have the repository. We are sending the repository. So why do we need the repository? So here for synchronization worker, we are using the repository to grab anything that is left in the repository so that those things can be synchronized. Okay, uploaded. Okay, right. So let's see what happens when something is uploaded. So let's go to the main screen. and here we are calling, so you have a button if it is online. We are sending us, we are uploading this item. Okay, otherwise we are saving the item. So let's go to the upload item. So in the upload item, we are, if it is successful, we are calling upload to API in the repository. Okay, so let's go to that one. So here we are providing the API service and we are posting just one item, and then if it is the response is successful, uploaded item, so we get the what's the response is about, and we are marking that one was a synchronized one because initially it is not synchronized. So here we have to set synchronized to be true. Okay, so this is where we change the status of the item, right? If it is not, then it will gonna stay false, right? So let's go back to mark as synced one, and then if it is not, we have these failure messages, and see that uploaded item is null, then you have empty response body. Likewise, we have different messages. So here we have, if it is not successful, the upload failed. So this is failure exception. Likewise, we are giving the result. So this is how we upload the item. Okay, so now the main offline first approach is that we are synchronizing whenever we get online. Okay, so let's see how we are doing that one. So we have this connectivity observer. Let's go and see. So here it has a state with saying that what status we are on. So for example, if it is available, unavailable, losing or lost, likewise we are getting those states. Okay, and then this status is a flow variable. That means kind of like a background thread, so it is running in the background. So whenever something happens to the connectivity status, this callback will be called and the connectivity status is changed. Okay, so here we have this connectivity status which we are collecting at the view model level to see whether our application is online or offline, right? So if the application is offline, we are doing something special called synchronization. So we have a synchronization mechanism. Let's see what that one is. So when we have some items left, we are going to periodically upload. So here in every 15 seconds, we are going to schedule a periodic upload. Right, so this is where we do in the main activity on the onCreate method. Initially what we are doing, when we are loading, we are starting that periodic upload, right? Every 15 seconds we are checking if something is there to be uploaded, and we are keep trying to upload that one with this schedule periodic upload. Okay, so what that one does is we are making this sync worker, and we are going to create a work manager instance and enqueue the periodic uploads. Okay, so this is what it does. So here we have we are enqueuing any periodic uploads. Okay, so that's a companion object which is called whenever the app is started, and every 50 seconds we are trying to collect stuff and upload. Right. And here in the sync worker, we have this do work, which is whenever you are enqueue something, you start calling this do work function. So in this one, it is suspend function. That means it will stop if something get precedence. So here we have the results, which provides immediate sync, right? Try to use the synchronization. So we saw that in the immediate sync what happens. So we get the repository and we are getting all the pending items. So we are using this pending items, selecting everything that which is marked as 0, means upload false. So we are getting those items, and if this one is not empty, we are going to call API to upload items, and then we are going to mark them to be synchronized. Okay. So here we are uploading items. This is where we are uploading the list of items, and then once that one is done, we are going to mark them to be as synchronized. Okay, and then we are going to say it is true, the status is true. Right, so this is the immediate sync function. So let's see what circumstances this function is called. So immediate sync function is, now we are on the offline repository, so we are going to call that in the repository. Okay, so let me go back. In the worker, we are going to try and sync that immediately. Let me see. If this one was success, we are going to set the result to be a success. Okay, if this one was executed, we are going to set. Otherwise, we are going to retry. Okay, catch. Try this one. Otherwise, this. So this do work is sending us the result. Okay, that result is what determines whether it has been uploaded or not. Okay, so this one is, there's no direct response, but whenever we are enqueuing that one, this is the one that will be called. Okay, so when we are starting the app, this one starts working. Right, so let's go and see the sync worker. So we are calling in the main activity. So we are this is at the beginning, we are scheduling, and in the offline repository we are building this worker. Okay, so this is where we're building this worker. So we are creating an instance of this one to sync work. Okay, and this one is where when we are saving an item, that means because it was offline, this is when we are start building this. Every time we have something offline, we are trying to create that worker and try to keep that running whenever, even though we are offline, right? Even though the app is not running, this worker is built, and this one enqueues that work. Okay, so one time a builder, so we are building a sync worker and we are going to enqueue that one. Okay, so this is our sync worker. So whenever that one is enqueued, when we experience something offline, we are also calling this do work function. So that means we are going to synchronize, immediate synchronization, and we are going to upload bunch of items, and if it is successful we are going to mark it as a sync. So for example, this is where we upload the items. Once it's done, if it is successful, see, you can see this immediate sync is done in the sync worker, right? If it is successful, the recharge is successful. Otherwise we keep trying to do this one. It won't come to this next line if it is not successful, right? If it is successful only, then it will go to the next line and we are updating the status, right? Okay, so this is all about this app. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.